Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I got a nice screenshot for you here and some audio for you. We're just going to go through one song and listen to my drums and my mix. For those of you that are interested in how I'm mixing my drums, this song is called Too Happy. It's on my band single record for JDW Band. You can hear that song at jonathandavis.pro. That's my website. So just want to show you how I like to mix drums. And briefly, the drum set that you're about to hear is a DW 10, 12, 14, 16, 20-inch kick, 14 by 6.5 snare, 14 by 8 ballad snare. Both snares are 20 ply shells. Is a combination of 4 ply Babinga and 20 ply maple. So each snare shell is 20 ply. Both snares were mic top and bottom. And 2 overheads. Inner mic for the kick, outer mic for the kick. And 2 room mics capturing the sound of the room, making the drum sound really big. So just give you a few sound bites. Let's go ahead and get a sound of the hi-hat right here. Okay. Let's go ahead and get hi-hat only. So this is my hi-hat sound right here. These are the levels. And my hi-hat is panned 20% to the left. So let's get a sound of the hi-hat. If I was to take the EQ off, it sounds like this. I'm using some 13-inch hi-hats and some 10-inch mini hats. So the both sets of hi-hats are really close, and the microphone is miking both sets of hi-hats. So let's get a look at this, compression, the channel, and I cut out the lows of the hi-hat mic here. Just getting some mids and some highs. Okay, let's put that right there. This is my compression. I didn't do too much to it, but this is the compression I like. And this is my gate. My threshold really decides on how much is gated, and the release makes the gate process musical. So and I use some hold as well. So, and this is my mix for my hi-hat. So we'll go ahead and play it again. That's without. So this is with all the EQ. And it's picking up the snare a little bit. Okay. Let's go to snare. Snare top, snare bottom. Right here. That's the sound of my snare, my main snare. And let's take a look at what it looks like here. Didn't do too much to the compression, not too much to look at here. This is my reverb, and this is the reverb that I chose here. You go here, and that's how I get to my reverb in Logic Pro X Chroma Verb. And this is what I usually tamper with here. The wetness of the reverb. I'm catching the highs in terms of the reverb. A little dip here. The snare is already deep inside, so I wanted to get more highs in terms of reverb from the snare. That's the top. Okay. And this is the EQ mix right here. So let's play it. That's my snare sound. Okay, so as I'm done with all the individual drums, I'm gonna play the track so you can hear everything. But next is the ballad snare. Let's pick a place where the ballad snare is being used. It's being used here. And that's my ballad snare sound. I'm not sure if I had the tambourine on the snare drum or not. Okay, so that's what it sounds like. Let's take everything off and hear what it sounds like and play. I think I am using a tambourine. I have a ring with tambourine on top of the snare, making it extra dry. Yeah, tambourines on the snare. Okay, so this is what the top mix looks like right here. The top of the ballad snare, I increased the low end. I dipped here. It took some of the attack off the snare by dipping at the 1000. A little, got some highs in there still. So we took the mids out pretty much. And this is the noise gate here. Yep. And reverb. Yep. So we got the back of the reverb on the ballad snare really exposed. And that's on the top. And it's the same pretty much for, yeah, so you got that reverb on the top and bottom mic, more so towards the back, catching that low end. So this is what it sounds like with everything on that ballad snare. And by the way, it's panned to the left 25%. It's like the far left of the drum set. So I panned it right where it is. All right. This is the sound with everything. All right, so let's go to the first tom. The first tom. Let's find a good place where the toms are being played. Right here at 106 to 109. And we'll just go ahead and take a look at the EQ of the first tom. That's the EQ of the first tom. The noise gate. You got some exciter on there. And some compression. Right? And the second tom. The second time we got compression. This is pretty much the EQ for the second time. And this is the EQ for the third time. Yep, and this is the EQ for the fourth time. pretty much similar, dipping in those lows. Okay. And this is what it sounds like with everything EQ the way I like. Oh, one more thing. The drums are panned. First time is 35% to the left. Second time 15. The third time 15 to the right. The last time 38 to the right. So you can get a nice pan sound going around. This could be 38, 35, 38, 15, 15, 38. So you got a nice pan sound when I go around the toms when I do my rolls. All right, so here are my toms. Now I'm hitting that ride. My ride cymbal was actually set up really close to my second tom. So the sound of that ride was coming in on that tom mic. Yeah, so since that recording, I changed my setup slightly and I began to raise my ride cymbal more so that the sound isn't in the microphone, in the tom mic so much. Yeah, so that's what the toms sound like. So let's hear what all the toms sound like with no EQ, just flat. Okay, so that's what it sounds like without. Fourth tom with. Okay, and then the third time with EQ sounds like this. Okay, add the EQ back on the second time. Okay, I'm gonna add the EQ back on the first time. And let's listen to the bass drum. Okay, so the top bass drum EQ looks like this. Spike on the highs a little bit, just a little tight, a little tinchy bit. Dipped on the mids. Okay. Got some compression here. And let's look at the bottom. Not the bottom, but the outside of the bass drum. We dipped on the 500 a little bit. And we turned down the gain pretty much. But the gain is still good here because of the compression. So that's the bass drum sound. And this is what the outer mic sounds like by itself. And we got some sub added. Wet, 110% on that sub. And we got a low pass filter on that outer bass drum because we didn't need the highs because the other mic was getting the highs. Okay. Now let's add the inner bass drum. This is what the bass drum sounds like with just a flat mix. Okay. Overheads. Alright. We added just a little bit of mids to the overheads. We didn't do too much to the EQ or overheads. They was kind of hot, so we turned them down some. Right here you can see the gain went down some. Yep. The cymbals was already bright. We didn't need to add highs. And then we got the high pass filter, which cuts out the lows coming through the overheads. And in this particular recording, I panned the left overhead to the left and the right overhead to the right. I don't think it was done like that on the recording, but we're going to hear what it sounds like overall in this session with the overheads like that. And then these are the room mics. At the end, I'll let you hear what all the drums sound like with the room mics. Nothing. It's just flat and turned down. With the room mics, it gets, yeah, we don't want it to be surround sound. Put that back on stereo. Yep. And we want to put this back on stereo. Yeah. Okay. So, overheads. Left and right. And that's the ride cymbal. So let's hear what this sounds like overheads. Okay, so because I panned everything strong left and then strong right, you can hear distinctively when I'm hitting a cymbal on the left and hitting a cymbal on the right side of the drum kit. I had crashes on the left and crashes on the right, and I can distinctively hear when I'm hitting a left crash and a right crash because I panned my overheads. Alright, so let's find a good place to listen to everything. Well, not everything, but just the drums. Okay. And trying to see a good spot that I want to hear. I think I like this spot. Start from 45. We want to hear the hi-hat. Yeah, we want to hear all the drums. Alright, let's just do it. solo. Uh, 55. This is my drum sound. Yeah. Okay, I hear it in there. A few places when the volume dropped, my gate was too tight because I could hear the gate going on and off, and that's definitely something you don't want to hear in your recording. So that would be something I would have to go back and, pull back on the gate and just let the microphone be open a little bit more to catch those softer dynamics. Okay, so let's get an idea at 55 what the drum sounds like with some music. Okay, let's start from 55 again, and this time we're just gonna play, we're gonna do the drums, and this time we're gonna include the room mics. And let's see if we can find the percussion track. I think this is the percussion track right here. And let's hear the drums with percussion, just drums and percussion. Okay, starting from 55, let's hear drums with no percussion. You'll see that room mic provides, what's this, space D? Yeah, I added some reverb, space D, to my room mics, to make the room appear to be even bigger. So let's get an idea what it sounds like with no reverb on any snare drums. It's gonna have more of a direct sound. No reverb on any snares. You're gonna hear that nice pop on the snare. Okay. The room mics give it reverb, so we're gonna cut those off. And let's start from 55 and hear what the drums sound like with no reverb. Okay, let's hear what the drums sound like with no reverb, with music. And we're gonna mute the percussion because the percussion got reverb, so we want to hear what it sounds like with no reverb. All right, so here we go. what it sounds like with no reverb on any snare. So no extra fuzz was coming through. Just nice and dry. All depends on how you like that. I like a little reverb on my snare. So put the reverb back. Put the reverb back. Reverb back. And the percussion got reverb too. Alright. So this is with percussion, with reverb, and reverb. Music. Okay, cool. So yep, that's everything. Just wanted to give you a little sneak peek on my sound, and if any drummers out there need some guidance in terms of how to make their drums pop, you know, some idea on where to go, what to do, how to EQ from scratch. I don't use any templates in terms of mixing. When I mix my tones on my drums, I start flat. My mix is always flat, and I like to turn on the analyzer so I can see what I need to turn up and down, because once you turn something on and it starts striking, it'll show you what needs to come up or down. Yeah, so yep, that's it for today. Again, you can subscribe to my channel. You know, catch me uploading some videos. Jonathan Davis Drums. And my website is jonathandavis.pro. You can buy this song from that website. And I hope everybody's just having a safe quarantine. Yep, safe quarantine. Wash your hands. You know, drink plenty of hot tea. Do what you want to do. That's what I do. But anyway, that's all for today. All right. Take care. Peace out.